Hey YouTube, welcome back to UniX TCG, and today we've got some Battle Spirit Saga gameplay. Today's match will be Core Control Purple versus Crackpot White, and Crackpot White is an affectionate term. You're basically going to be having a white deck with a not at all small splash of different colors to help it get from point A to point B. So you're going to be able to see it pull out all the stops in order to get its win. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the match. Now real quick, just want to let everybody know that you can support the channel in plenty of free ways by just going down and liking the video, subscribing if you haven't already, because we're doing plenty of content for a fair amount of card games on this channel. And then you can also hit that notification button so you don't miss a beat. Let me know in the comments what you think of the setup, as well as what you think of the game as well. And if you want other things, just like my more rough takes on things, you can follow me on Twitter, you can join the Discord, you can follow me on Instagram for all sorts of little posts, and all the links to those will be in the description. So real quick, let's get into the game, and then afterwards stick around, because if you want a crazy cool place to buy, sell, and even trade sometimes cards, you'll be able to look at Mystic TCG towards the end, and links will also be in the description for that. But it's the best place to buy cards, buy singles, whether it's sealed product or singles, and then you can also get a discount by using my code at checkout. So let's hop into the match. All right, so you have got Core Control Purple versus Crackpot. As I stated before, Core Control Purple is pretty much self-explanatory, but Crackpot is basically just a heavily tacked out version of white to get it where it needs to go. It looks like Purple won the die roll, and I know that both decks could very much so opt to go second for the extra core, but I think with Purple it's also very important that you don't get farmed for stabilization draws, because what you don't want to do is give white draw, because outside of having certain cards, it doesn't really actually draw that much. So you want to get it off of the ability to draw whenever you can. So going first may actually just be the way here. They both keep their hands and go up to 6, and we are going to see Purple start off the game by casting Dark Knight Agalov. There's going to be a glare later, but I did fix it later in the match, very soon actually, so I apologize at first, but I do get to that. So he's going to set that Starblesh draw that we saw in his hand earlier if you were paying attention, which could be disastrous for Purple because Purple has to walk into so many come into play effects. Followed up by Pegasion, which is going to have protection from red and purple once its levels are up, and it can block while rested with the Soul Core, and it gets quite beefy at level 3. So you're really going to have Purple pretty much losing its ability to be the aggressor unless it comes in with Camelot Knights later on. Now moving into the second turn, we are now seeing a Dark Lancer Cavalier triggering his opponent's Starblesh draw. This is very unfortunate. I'm not sure if the ability to play that in the opposite order was there last turn, but you just were able to see white get more cards. And because Pegasion is there with its protection and it's a little beefy right now, he won't be able to swing through it, so he's going to pass. Another card gets set. It is far too early in the game for ice, so that could have actually been another star draw. I wasn't paying attention to his hand, I'm so sorry. This next turn is going to see a full Netherworld Depths and a pass. There's an ice shield already in Crackpot's hand, and we're going to see Pegasion be put up to his maximum level in order to be able to block while rested. This is actually crazy at this point. Unable to move onto the board from the purple player's standpoint. Now I do believe he's actually just getting out bodies and trying to get his reduction up. If I am not mistaken, that is a Beldegor. I apologize for the glare, like I said, I fixed it soon. But that is a Beldegor if I'm not mistaken. His best bet right now is to build up a board so that when he can get rid of Pegasion, he's going to be able to push past the life on the opposing white player's board. I see a Deadly Balance in hand from Purple. We're about to start to see some other cards. We get a Dark Lancer on the opponent's side of the board, allowing him to draw an extra card. I believe that was a Burning Force. He's going to shift around his course so that he can't just have his bodies taken off the board easily. which is what you have to do against core control purple. Leaving something with 1 core on it is almost a death sentence. So I believe he's keeping up the protection on Pegasion while still being able to keep Dark Knight Lancer at a healthy core total. Sorry if you hear clicking, I'm just making sure I am looking at Pegasion correctly. Yep, only level 2. Armor red, purple always, and then level 2 can block with 2 or fewer cores on them while exhausted, so yeah, very good, very good. So shifting some cores around, now that he's seen the purple splash, he has to be very cognizant of what is potentially coming from his opponent, because his opponent could be playing white or purple. You don't actually know. You've seen 3 colors already, and all 3 of those are fairly splashable cards. So no longer fearing getting killed by these, he's going to try to actually turn on the offensive, because he's starting to realize that he can't simply just wait in order to see what his opponent's doing. So he swings twice, leaving behind the blocker and passing. Crackpot took this as an attempt to be able to ramp, and we're going to see what that entails momentarily. Alright, we get another roll depths of his own being played. There's going to be a lot of draw here momentarily. Pegasion is back up to its max. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's close. I believe its max is 5, if I'm not mistaken. He ends up passing the turn, but he's in a very good spot. He can block while rested. Things with 2 or more cores. A Dark Knight or Dark Lancer is up there as well, and he's got his own Netherworld Depth set up. So this is actually a very, very, very strong position. Both of them are in weird positions. Alright, so now we're going to get Smoke Valley, Purple Smoke Valley, which is going to allow the purple player to draw anytime a spirit is reduced down to 0 cores through an effect. So right here, this is going to be a very, very popular, or a very, very powerful turn. He ended up taking the damage and triggering Dream Bomb. Dream Bomb allowing a Nexus to get bounced back to the hand, and then he's also going to bounce the Algalov, or sorry, the Dark Knight or the Dark Lancer as well. So this is actually pretty intense. He stopped himself from getting swung over. That is the Beldegor that was played earlier. And just with the Dream Bomb sitting in the burst zone, he was able to stave off an entire turn. Here comes down the Newman Guard for full price, potentially putting up a huge blocker, and then he puts a burst down, and that burst is very likely to be Ice Shield. Redistributing his course that Newman Guard has the extra refresh trap and the stats, he's going to now pass, getting all of his things back after going the attack step and getting all of his cores back. Excellent move. And while he's left Pegasion a little weaker, Pegasion has protection. So now the purple player is going to respond by reestablishing not only 1 Netherworld Depth, but 2. This is going to be a very, very, very sticky game, as both players are going to be able to draw a lot of cards. I already see 2 Absolute Ice Shields and a Burning Force in Crackpot's hand. Meanwhile, Core Control Purple is about to set up infinite cards. So immediately Pegasion's going to go up to its max level, and Dark Knight Lancer is going to be put out of simple core removal range. Burning Force is going to remove a Netherworld Depths to hopefully stem the tide of cards that purple is going to see their hand. My, this is set up to be a very, very sticky match. Alright, so we got Lancer being played again. Drawing. Mad cores on it just to make sure the cores were doing something this game. But the board is a little too fat to swing through. And you're going to be giving draws regardless. So we're going to see exactly how he wants to do things. He's going to Burning Force in order to remove Netherworld Depths, cutting off Crackpot's ability to draw as efficiently. Unfortunate, but with Newman Guard still there, it's still going to be very, very rough for him to progress his position in this game. And then we're going to have another Burning Force coming down to get rid of another Netherworld Depth. So now we're sitting with no Netherworld Depths on either side, and a Purple Smoke Valley on purple side. And the board position from Crackpot is insanely strong. Newman Guard all up, Pegasion all up, And here we go, a third Netherworld Depths. When you got it, you got it. But what he's saying here is that I will draw no matter what. Now, with only, I believe, 2 life currently, Crackpot has to keep those ice shields in the burst zone, not allowing him to do the things he wants to do, like, I don't know, put a Starblast draw there. But we just had Pendicles come down and reduce Numengard's cores to 1. Presumably about to swing if he can. Actually, no, he's used too many cores, so he has to pass. That is very unfortunate. Taking it down to 0 cores and it dying could have been very good. But we've also seen another Netherworld Depths. Controlling how many Netherworld Depths are on the field seems to be crucial for what's going on. Neither player wanting to give the other player any more advantage, but at this point something has to give. But this is officially a war of attrition. They are both sitting in very, very comfortable places, but both of them are capable of top decking massive bombs. Another Numengard, a Fortress Enterprise from Crackpot could potentially tilt the game in a very, very nasty direction. Whereas on the purple side, a single Baculus would do wonders here, reducing cores down to 1 before being able to swing. So we're going to get another Lancer out, drawing another card. Now that he knows he's not going to get farmed with Starblast, it's just free reign for those. Shifting the cores a little bit so we can start taking off cores, but is he willing to swing with Pendicles with this amount of ability to block with Numengard? The fact that there's going to be a draw happening off of Netherworld Depths regardless. Nope, it's just another pass. And like I said, I apologize for the core, but so far it's not really getting too much in the way. So this is very, very stalematey. Purple is sitting with all 5 of its life. But what we're going to do is get a Starblast draw being hard casted before the last 2 just go under Lancer. Oh, Numengard. So this way, no matter what happens, Numengard is going to be able to get the effect. Core removal will be very, very useless on it unless it's specifically removing all of its cores to 1. So yes, basically they're both trying to see, if I'm not mistaken, if their Netherworld Depths can be destroyed before actually starting to swing in, because this potentially get very much out of hand. Both players seeing more and more of their outs and bombs because Netherworld Depths is just simply that card. Both players also sitting with literal novels in hand. This is actually insane. Alright, a quick redistribution of the cores, actually triggering Smoke's second effect. Let me actually get that for you guys, because it's actually important. Purple Smoke's second valley. During your attack step, your spirits with curse cannot be blocked by your opponent's spirits with only 1 core on them. So he's going to be gearing up. After distributing cores like that, I'd have to wonder if he was going to play Baculus, but he actually ends up passing. Very interesting. The second turn, Crackpot, or the next turn, Crackpot ends up using Elk, or deploying Elk in order to have an even larger defense. Now this is still a little scary, because Purple is no stranger to the ability to get through boards like this via Baculus and Curse Dragon. But this is starting to become very, very, very scary for the purple player. We're about to start. Oh, there we go. That's Dark Bishop Baculus putting everything down to 1 core. And let's see if he has the Curse Dragon to follow it up. He might not even need it. To be fair, if he just puts the cores up on Pendicles, he can then swing with Pendicles and remove the last core from Elk. Okay, so he's swinging with Dragon Naga to draw. And we're going to get the full employment of Ice Shield. I'm kind of weird on that one because I do think that I know the draw was very important, but I do kind of like removing Elk because Elk can spiral out of control very fast. I feel like you have to capitalize on the turn and use Bishop. You have to remove something. Otherwise, the Bishop just came down, had a massive bomb effect, but for what? Like at this point, he's just going to redistribute all of his cores, and the field didn't change. So I'm very much so thinking that Bishop should have been the first swing with enough cores on it to go into the core snatching effect. I'm pretty sure Elk is susceptible to that. Let me just make sure I'm not tripping, but I'm pretty sure Elk would have actually just, yep, Elk would have just died. Alright, so like I said, we got the core redistribution, and we have another card set. At 2 life, once again, you bet it, that's probably Ice Shield right there. We saw he had 1 face down, 2 in hand, so now he's got at least 1 Ice Shield in hand. I think I've only seen 1. He's going to go in with, he's going to block with Beldegor on Numengard. And now he's swinging with the Pegasion. He feels very, very comfortable now that that Ice Shield set. He should go on the defensive. He's going to start drawing off his Netherworld Depths. They actually both are drawing off Netherworld Depths. Was that a Nova he added to his hand? Oof. Alright, all these cards are going sideways. He is no longer feeling afraid. Yep, that is a Seaworm Nova. He is no longer afraid of what is happening on this side of the field. He just wants to get the entirety of his board in to force the Ice Shield if it's had. And if the Ice Shield's not had, then he's just one step closer to ending the game. So Numengard with its cores on it is going to untap everything, an incredibly stupid mechanic. And he already knows he's not going to die. So all he needs to do, presumably as long as Elk has the cores on it, is block and then Ice Shield. And he's going to be one step closer to ending the game. So we have another Lancer coming in. A lot of draw. Yeah, that was very weird. I was so confused. He took the cores off of Dark Bishop Baculus. It does only have a come into play effect, so it's not like it's doing too much now. I can't tell which I like more, the core cards or the core cores. One's definitely easier to track on screen, but oh my gosh, it looks so messy. So we're going to get the Fortress Numengard out, which is going to give more reduction. And then a redistribution of the cores. Swing with a Numengard. He's already used a fair amount of cores, so he doesn't want anything to go past that. Numengard's always going to be a safe swing. What's the opponent going to do? Just put a body in front of it? That's pretty much all they can do. Nothing. So he's going to block. Beldegor is going to tap, giving a draw off of Netherworld Depths. They're both just going up in cards. Swinging in with Pegasion. 7k Pegasion. He took the life. And then he's going to activate Absolute Ice Shield. Causing a turn to pass. At least 2 Ice Shields on one side over here, but they've both been drawing so many cards, it's not even funny anymore. So we're seeing another Netherworld Depths, the 4th copy's been seen. I see another Ice Shield in the hand of the purple player, which was just set in the burst zone, no doubt. And now he has to try to figure out how to close out game. It's getting far too late in the game. An Enterprise might almost seal the game outside of Dark Bishop, Cursed Dragon. And they both actually have novels for hands. I actually see Seaworm and Nova in hand. This is insane. Alright, we got a swing with Algalov with the Soul Core on it, so if it gets blocked, he is going to get it destroyed and draw. Alright. He is going to block it with Elk. You already know what that means. If damage cannot be done this turn, he is literally about to get burned. So that dies. They're both getting their draws on. This is a very intense game. Now swinging with Dragon Naga. He's going to draw a card, see what he wants to do. So the purple player only has 3 attacks. This turn actually might get walled. So he's going to draw 2 from Netherworld Depth. He is going to use... What was that? Is that Core Drain? Okay, so it's gonna gain 3,000. Okay, so or 2,000. So he used it to pump. He used it to pump his thing. I was like, what the crap? The core thing is actually later. So now he's gonna use Baculus. Baculus is going to blow up Dragon Naga. And he did have to get burned because of Elk. Coming out with Lance, he's going to play Lance. Lance will draw him a card. Redistributing of the cores. Elk still has enough to burn. He's going to swing with Newman Guard again. Attempting to force the Ice Shield. Giving the purple player 2 draws. It's very strong. Triggering Ice Shield to stop the turn, and then he's going to get his refresh step afterwards because of Newman Guard. He's set up to do essentially the same things again. He's got a Pegasion that only has 1, 2... I think... There we go, yeah. So he has Pegasion that only has 2 cores on it now. Lancer with 2 cores. Beldegor 3. Alright, we're getting a Dragon Naga being played for the attempted swing and draw. Purple is digging, but this field is finally starting to go out of hand. Camelot Knight is nice though, because now Camelot Knight cannot be blocked. Thanks to Purple Smoke's Tier 2 effect, Level 2 effect. Oh, by only 1 core on them. I apologize. So this essentially means, oh, there we go, Bishop. I was just about to be like, well, with 1 core on it, but nope, Bishop essentially makes Camelot Knight unblockable. So now he has a very important space here to hit chip damage. So he's going to swing with Camelot Knight. And now that Dragon Naga is out, this is going to actually force the Ice Shield from hand, because he can't afford to let the... he can't skip this this flash step. Because if I'm not mistaken, Dragon Naga now has Curse. Ooh, the Dream Bomb. Okay, so he's gonna put Smoke back to hand, and he's gonna bounce Lancer. Once again, pretty much halting the turn. That was very good. That was very good. Purple set them up for a kill shot to be able to swing twice with unblockable. And that meant that he had to hit him with the Ice Shield one way or another. So now we are back. There's no way that Crackpot can salvage this board, so he's going to go for the all-in. He's playing Seedworm, and then he is going to play the rest of his... Oh my gosh, it's so nasty this happened. Alright, he just tried to do some cleaner work to put the Soul Core in the trash so that he could actually use this effect. So doing that to Ascend, playing Seaworm Nova, removing the Soul Core, going up to 5 life. You saw it here, folks. Crackpot doing its things. So many cores in this game, they ran out of core cards and had to start using the actual cores. So Crackpot is back up to 4 or 5 life. That is just insane to say. Core's looking pretty thin on a lot of these right now. So potentially Curse Dragon might clean up this entire field. But now he's deciding to remove cards because he wants to be able to use Seaworm Nova's ability to its maximum. So he's going to swing and clear off half of Purple's board. This is an insane momentum swing this late in the game. Absolutely insane. So we're getting a Deadly Balance, and that Deadly Balance is going to be used to trigger Beldegor to put up another blocker. Pendicles is going to swing, triggering Netherworld Depths, and then I don't believe has enough to remove a core. Oh, never mind. Definitely has enough to remove a core. So removing the Seaworm Nova from the game, but it's already done its job. And you've got Burning Force doing some clearing up. Wait, no. Burning Force did not do any clearing up. That's my bad. No, actually, I think it did. That's a very powerful turn. So now he has no Elk. Oh my gosh. Yep, that was a massive momentum swing. You saw it there. It looked like Crackpot was in an overwhelming position to change that momentum, and it just immediately changed here. So now he's going to hit Deadly Balance to clear Newman, but that's still going to be a 3-core change in momentum and then drawing 3 cards. So it's kind of insane here, but we're gonna see a pass happen. Purple sets the purple ends up setting that. Sorry, there was a swing going into the Newman, Deadly Balance cleared it up. Happened a little fast. Now that makes a pass. You have Candlelight Knight coming out, but Crackpot is at a full 5 life. They both have books in hands, but I can't see this one going on for too much more. Purple has a lot of cores, but only 2 life versus the 5 life of Crackpot, and is pretty much reset. Setting up these, this is a huge push turn. It's like you have removal, you have Ice Shield, or you just lose. And removal is very strict in general. This has to be a Burning Force. I can see not a lot of allotment. Something needs to get above 4K. There we go. You're starting to see things get put up as high as they can. I believe that's a Mordred. Mordred should be able to do it. But as soon as this goes through, Netherworld Depth's going to draw another Ice Shield. He's going to take a life, draw a card, and then Ice Shield. That's disgusting. Taking another life. Oh my gosh. This game 1 is crazy. Alright, so we're seeing a Bishop. You already know what's about to happen here. There is enough into Curse Dragon. This game is crazy. We've seen Newman Elk. We have seen Nova or Seaworm into Seaworm Nova, and now we are seeing Baculus into Curse Dragon, and this is all the same game. Oh my gosh, double Netherworld. This is disgusting. This might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. I don't really see how this gets recovered from. And then the ice shield for the set. This is probably the backbreaker. Now, the other purple, the purple, core control purple can respond with their own. They can respond with their own, but this is strong. Like, they can Dark Bishop. Yep, there we go. We had to see that. So the life is going to come back. That's absolutely fine. So we're starting to run out of ice shields. I believe that's the last ice shield from purple. They've both seen so many cards that it'd be almost criminal for one of them not to have it at this point. Yep. Like I said, the return, the backwards, that's where it's at. But the only issue is there's only one ice shield that's like left in the game for Crackpot. So this is his last line of defense. Again, what an insane game. Alright, we got a Dark Knight Algalov. And he has to be sweating because if his opponent doesn't have that last, if his opponent doesn't have outs in hand, you don't want to give them outs in hand with 3 Netherworld Depths. Look at this. 3 cards in hand. Disgusting. What we're going to see here is the final Ice Shield, I believe, from this side. And the forcing of the pass of the turn. He lost a core. Things are getting out of hand. No pun intended. But the deck on the purple side is getting very lovely. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. The way that deck out works in this game is that you don't lose to deck out until you cannot draw at the start of your turn due to having no cards in deck. So if you can draw for your draw step and then you have other effects that force you to draw, you don't game out at that point. So in this case, with double Netherworld Depths, what Crackpot can do is try to force his opponent to draw twice. And if his opponent draws twice, that's the end. His opponent will actually have to draw at the beginning of their turn for the draw step, and they will no longer have a draw. Have a card to draw, and they will lose the game at that point. So now we're going to get a Beldegor killing Algalov. Algalov is going to force him to draw a card, which is very dangerous at this point. And now you have one of the worst parts of this game. I thought Smoke Dragon. I didn't see where the Dream Bomb happened because I was socializing, and I was asking about the Dream or the Smoke, because the Smoke Valley has been pretty much throughout most of the game. I was like, doesn't he just win here? And he was like, no, I have Ice Shield. And so essentially, I was like, wait, but you just Curse Dragon Bishoped his field. Did you draw from purple? And he was like, nah. And then I think he was like, well, I had purple in my hand. I just replayed it afterwards. And then the Crackpot player was like, hey, no, I don't think so. So that was a blunder, because if that happened correctly, he still had 1 card left, and he would have been able to play out his last turn, and I'm not sure where it would have gone that way. They both have a lot of cores and a lot of cards in hand, so it's almost impossible to tell who would have won that one. But yeah, that was a crazy game. So let's have a message from Mystic TCG, and then we'll move into the closing. So let's talk about Mystic TCG, your one-stop shop for all your TCG needs. On the site, you can buy or pre-order plenty of sealed product for plenty of games. Just make sure though, if you're pre-ordering, to give it 3 to 4 months in advance to start looking, because sometimes the product is indeed hot, supply and demand, you know. And then if you want to buy singles, go on tcgplayer.com. There's going to be a link in the description where you can buy for the best value. And if you want to sell cards or collections, you can message them on their Facebook site so you can get the best bang for your buck on any type of way you want to buy or sell cards. And then while you're at it, you can use the code UNIXTCG at checkout to get even more of a discount. So hey, what are you waiting for? Check out Mystic TCG today. And there you have it. The match over. The message from Mystic TCG. That was a very, 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 very long game one. But that is actually what happens when you have Core Control versus Crackpot. These are both decks that can take it to the very late game. And Core Control is going to normally have a good matchup versus White. But the ability for Crackpot to splash into other colors very, very deeply allows it to have more staying power in that matchup, resulting in the long game that you just saw. In a best 2 out of 3 match, at least how they were held at Vegas for the launch event, that would have just been a game 1 going to Crackpot, and then not being able to finish in the second game, so it would have, the whole match would go on the Crackpot. But I hope you guys learned something. Let me know, like I said, about the quality, and I will see you in the next video. Later.